Gentlemen, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling great. Hi, Thumos. I know I'm feeling good because I just went on a walk. I'll be honest with you, I haven't been walking much. I have not been walking too much. And today was the day. Anyway, we're jumping in. Today, we're going to wrap up the series, the Brand Builder series. If you guys have liked this, then you can join the Brand Builder program. What we're going to be doing for the next month, we're focused on building a brand. I'm going to be going live 2 times every other week, and everyone gets in there. We're going to be talking about building your brand, just going deeper, a little more advanced stuff. So if you want to join that, you can check out the link down below. That'll be open for just a couple of days. All right? Sounds good. Let's jump into this final lesson. So, you guys need to realize that it's okay to stand out. It's a good thing to stand out. But the world that we live in doesn't really push you to stand out. It kind of urges you to play it safe. Always wants you to go the safe route. Even with our parents want us to be secure. They want us to be safe. So we're their sweet little babies, so they urge us to go to school, they urge us to get into a relationship, try to settle down. And usually if something is wrong if you decide to go a different route. That's not always the case, but that's just one of the ways. Another thing is nowadays, a lot of people will tell you to chill out. A lot of people will say, hey, you're a narcissist. They'll call you names. They'll say, what are you doing? They'll make fun of you. We have haters all over the internet. And I'm saying, you got to realize you don't want to listen to that. You do not want to buy into that mentality because that is for sure way to be average. Okay, it's a for sure way to just blend in. Because when you decide to stand out, or become a little bit different, you can disrupt things. Okay? And people don't like to see you get ahead. People don't like to see other people succeed because there's a real thing. It's an actual cognitive bias. It's called envy jealousy, which makes people when they see your successes, they become envious, jealous, and they try to hold you back. Like crabs in a bucket. They'll actually try to hold you back. And it's not something that they are even aware of. But you may notice that your family will do this to you, your friends will do this to you, your girlfriend, your whoever, your uncle, whatever, man. The people in the community, they'll treat you differently when you decide to do something different. Okay, so it's a threat to their mentality that, they're maybe not living up to or doing something that they want to do. If they see you doing something different, man, they'll test you. It's like the world is shit testing you constantly. And you got to be okay with that, okay? So the ability to stand out is what is going to make sure that you are seen. And here's the thing. A lot of people will tell you grind, grind, grind. You want to be the best. But I'm here to tell you this. Let's just unravel this lie. Is that even the best in performance is only marginally better, just a little bit better than the good. So you could think of Usain Bolt, the fastest man on the planet, I believe. I think he might has been beat, but the fastest man ever can only run a few miles per hour faster than me. Okay, and I'm not really fast, but I'm saying human performance, human potential is capped. Tiger Woods is only a little bit better. He has a little bit more accurate swing. He has whatever you would say in golf terms, I don't know, a little bit better driving than the other guys. The other guys are good, but Tiger is really great. You can think about this with nearly anything. There's some good people, and then there's the performance that makes people great, but it's only small. You're not a cheetah that runs 50 miles per hour. No, the max human speed is what, like 20 miles an hour? Maybe that's too fast. I don't know. So when you think about this, there's a lot of really great people. Like there's probably someone out there that's faster than Usain Bolt. Or there's a better guitar player than Jimi Hendrix. Or there is people that are better cooks than Chef Gordon Ramsay. But you'll never hear of them because there's missing a key element, is that they never stood out. They never promoted themselves. Now this could be because their network was small and they never met anyone. We talked about the 6 degrees of separation. So you should watch that video if you didn't. You should start a Facebook group if you haven't already. But there's another factor, is that they have no element that makes them stand out. They have no smoking gun. Like, what is your smoking gun? What is the it factor that makes you rise above? And to understand this, well, let's look at a couple people that do stand out and are very famous for being different. Because you've probably been told that you have to be remarkable to be seen or to have a message out there. And it is true, is that you want to be good. Okay? You want to be good at what you do. But sometimes that's not good enough. So let's look at a famous, try to come up with a famous example, such as the band Kiss. I was reading about the band Kiss. They used to have a band that was called Wicked Lester. And it was a band, they never got any attention. Like, ever. They would play a bunch of these small bar gigs, and they were just average people. They never were that good at guitar, kind of basic. But then what happened is they switched their name to Kiss, and they started putting makeup on their faces, and they had these like long tongues, and they would dress up, and when they went on stage, they would have these pyrotechnics just shooting fire and whenever they would play. And by doing that, now they became this like whole performance. But they were still average. It wasn't that their skill just suddenly skyrocketed. It was just that their whole image was changed up. They were different. They had something that made them stand out. All right, so that's a really cool story. I like to think about that. It's like, man, they took their same skill level and they just added a new element, and that made them propelled into stardom. Insane. You may have heard of the Twitch streamer. His name is Dr. Disrespect. What makes him stand out from many other Twitch streamers? He has a mustache. He's very funny. He wears that wig. He dresses up in the outfit whenever he's streaming. He has that funny voice. He becomes iconic because he stands out. He's a different character. He lets his personality and that character take over and be known. And that's going to help him stand out. Love him or hate him, the rapper 69. He had his hair colored. He has this like crazy chains. You don't have to love his music, but that guy captures attention. He stands out. Think about Arnold. We all love Arnold, right? Very charismatic, known for the biggest biceps in the industry at the time. Just that charismatic person that was big and bold and just goofy, but also serious. And, you have these characters that are okay standing out. And when you have that, well, then that's how you're seen. So I just want you guys to know, don't get weighed down. Don't get weighed down with all of the naysayers and all the people that tell you just keep cool, stay where you're at, don't really take any risk. And you'll see, they're tricky, man. People will try to cage you in. They'll try to keep you small. That's why it's very important that you watch out for your community. And if your community is one that is sort of regressing, degenerating, then you want to get out of there. Okay? And that may be your parents. And the thing with parents is dangerous because there's a lot of old thinking there. Old thinking that was passed down from generations. And so your parents have their parents' thinking, which is just old. They haven't adapted. They haven't evolved with the times. There's some wisdom there, sure. But also you can't just go with the flow, what they tell you to do. Okay? So it's very important these days. Build your brand. Build it, build it, build it. Be smart. Be okay standing out, but also don't just do foolish stunts in order to stand out. You also want to be aware of your image. You want to do it for the right reasons. Okay? Sometimes it's just going against the grain. It's going against the prevalent mindset that is around you. Someone that you can look, that did this, Chael Sonnen in the MMA, he would talk about when everyone was rooting for this guy, he would say, no, he's terrible. He'll never win. And, he would just talk shit all the time. But that made him stand out. He kind of resembled Muhammad Ali back in the day. So, or even speaking up against something that seems wrong when everyone else seems to agree with it. Okay? Ways to stand out. But be cautious to not just do it as a publicity stunt. Okay? Because that can affect you. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Last thing I'm going to tell you is most people these days will be quick to say that you have an ego and that the ego is your enemy and that you should stop being, again, I said the narcissistic, but stop being narcissistic. You want to shut your ears to that, okay? Because it takes a bit of ego to get anything big done. You don't, if you have no ego, if you have no belief in yourself, desire to conquer, then you will never get anything done, okay? Ego can be the enemy when it keeps you closed-minded, but a lot of times people will forge their identity by hanging on to these small ideological like things to forge their identity, right? Because they don't actually chase something bigger. Social issues, LGBTQ, ABC, EFG. They'll talk about, they'll get angry, they'll stand for all of this like weird stuff. They'll argue to you all day about politics. You see a lot of these people on Facebook arguing about Trump, putting the president down. You'll just see like all this bickering and complaining. And these are the people that will very quickly say, "Oh, don't, he's narcissistic or his ego's too big." You can't believe that, man. You can't get caught up because their egos are big too, but they've taken all these small things to forge their identity. If we look at great men of the past, would you even argue that these guys had some type of ego? But look at what they accomplished. How could Alexander the Great go into Asia Minor and conquer and take over at the age of like 21? Do you really believe that he was like egoless? No, he was told by an oracle at the time that you can go into battle and nothing will harm you. Nothing will bring you harm. Imagine what that does to the mind. But he's still open minded. He's still a student of life. He was taught by, who was he taught by? I believe Aristotle was his mentor. So he was open minded, always learning. He read all the time. But he still had this strong belief, this strong identity that he was meant for something greater. And that allowed him to conquer. And these days, people do not want you to think like that. They want you to stay small. They want you to stay safe, comfortable. They don't want you to stand out because standing out is dangerous. Okay? And it's a threat. It's a reflection. Whenever you stand out, it's like holding up a mirror. And they're able to see themselves in the mirror. And they don't want to see that. Most people cannot handle that. Okay? So, I mean, if you look at the great men, like how can Mike Tyson at the young age step into a ring, and he'll admit it, that he had a lot of ego. And now that I think he's done DMT and he's licked the toad and everything, he's had the trips, he said, I had so much ego back then, I'm giving up my ego. But in order for him to be the best that he was at the time, to become Mike Tyson, he had to have some ego. He had to have a willingness and a belief in himself, a belief that he could do it, he could accomplish. That's his identity. All right, so be okay with standing out is what I'm saying. But be smart, all right? Good talk today. If you guys want more, all right, this entire month, let's get focused. And all you need is 1,000 true fans, people that love your stuff, people that want to buy stuff from you. I mean, you could live the rest of your life with 1,000 true fans, okay? But don't spend years doing it. Don't just like do it one day and the next day you're down. Like you got to have a clear focus, a clear goal. You need a community holding you accountable, all right? And I would love to see you guys in the group. We're going to keep it open for a couple more days. There's a link down below. This is the theme for the entire month ahead. If you want to join us in the live talks, join us in the groups. If you're unsure of even where to start, just get in and ask questions. Everyone's supporting each other. We'll all have the same mindset this month, all right? So check out the Monk Mode Box group down below. There's a link I'll leave you in the description. And I will see you guys very soon. Peace.